For what purpose does the gentleman from Wisconsin rise?
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw my point of order and rise in opposition to the motion.
Point of order is withdrawn. Gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First off, this motion on the floor today is just a political stunt that's going to undo the goodwill of my bill. Now, let's be clear.
House will be in order. Let the House be in order. All members, take your seats, cease the conversation. Gentlemen may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's be clear. After nearly 20 hours of hearings and debates in our subcommittee and in our committee, this issue specifically has not been risen by my friends across the aisle. And then today, we spent nearly 3 hours on the floor, and not once was this specific issue raised. This is no more than political theater. But I have good news for my friends across the aisle, because
the House will be in order. Gentlemen may proceed.
I have good news for my friends across the aisle, because in our committee we dealt with a similar issue, one where I made a motion to designate one of 5 commissioners to specifically deal with the protection of our seniors. The bad news is that every Democrat voted against that amendment. Now let's be clear. Everybody in this House wants to make sure that our friends, our family members, our neighbors, our constituents, when they deal with banks, they are transactions that are fair and transparent. We want to make sure of that. But I want to specifically talk about one very important issue that is raised in my bill that fixes the underlying law. Because when you look at the CFPB as currently written, there is the ability to have rules reviewed. But the only way a rule can get reviewed is if you are a big bank on Wall Street. If you are one of those banks that participated in the financial crisis, if you are a big bank that is too big to fail, the way you have written this rule, Mr. Speaker, the underlying law, the way it has been written, you have a voice with the way the current law is written with the CFPB. What my bill does is it actually gives a voice to small community banks and credit unions who deal with families all across America.
Gentlemen will suspend. The House shall be in order. Gentlemen may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, my bill doesn't just give a voice to Wall Street banks, the big banks. What my bill does is it gives a voice to small community banks, gives a voice to credit unions. So if a rule comes out that affects negatively the small community bank and the credit union, they have a voice to ask that it be overturned. And it's those very small banks and credit unions that our families across this country look to when they want to get a loan for a car or a mortgage for their home. But not only that, it's those small banks and credit unions that give capital to small businesses that expand and grow and create jobs for our hardworking families right here in America. Ladies and gentlemen, this is common sense reform. This is a reform that is going to do justice to the CFPB. I would ask that you all join with me in Main Street America and vote against this motion to recommit and vote for our underlying bill. I yield back.